Welcome to the NSIC Spotlight, the voice of the NSIC student athletes, powered by gpac. gpac, growing people and companies. I'm your host, Nick Corner, Assistant Commissioner at the Northern Sun. Today, we are joined by Peyton Blandin of the number 22 Southwest Minnesota State women's basketball team. Peyton, thanks for joining us on the Spotlight.
Hello, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, as we do each week, let's start with you telling us a bit about yourself.
I am a senior from Farmington, Minnesota, and I am majoring in business management with a minor in marketing.
All right, Farmington, a south suburb of the Twin Cities. How did you end up at Southwest Minnesota State in Marshall?
So, about my junior year of high school, after AAU, I think Webb reached out to me and we just started talking. And then he invited me to be on campus. I saw a practice, I toured it, and then once I left, I kind of just knew that this was the place for me. And just with everything Webb had to say, it was so reassuring. And I knew that he saw potential, so I knew that this was the place.
And working out for you and the Mustangs. They are 18-2 overall this season. As we said, 22 in the nation. You're 12-2 in NSIC play. Talk about this year's team.
This year's team is a different dynamic from last year's and years prior, just because now we're playing with a true five with Natalie Nielsen. I think all of our players, we just have so many different threats that who can flat out score the ball. And we have a different leader every night. So I think it's just hard to guard us, and we all trust each other. We understand each other's strengths. So that just allows us to go out there and play.
You're a 2-year starter now for the Mustangs. What's your role on the team, and how would you describe your style of play?
I think from last year to this year, I've stepped into a bigger role, just being older and having more experience. So I would say I'm a leader in that aspect. I understand Webb's expectations, like on and off the court, so I try to instill that in our teammates. And I don't see myself as like a vocal leader necessarily, but I like to lead by example and just hope that my teammates look up to me in that part.
And how would you describe this team's overall style of play?
I think we like to play fast and play free, like to push the ball, and we understand like when we need to slow it down and kind of run a play. And Webb is always just encouraging us just to go out there and play and just have fun and just be us.
Yeah, I mentioned Coach Tom Webb. He's guided the Mustangs for nearly a decade now in his ninth season. Talk about the culture he's built in Marshall and what it's like to play for him.
We are just one big family here. We get along so well on and off the court. We're always cheering for each other and we just want what's best for each other. I've been so blessed to play for Coach Webb. He just has the best intentions for his players and he's always cheering us on. He just encourages us to be our best and play our best.
It's a huge commitment to play college athletics. What is it that drives you each and every day to go out there and give it your all?
I would say the girls really. I think this team is just such a great group of girls. And being a senior, I know that I don't have like that much time left. So I think just like taking it day by day and just giving it all I have at practice and at the games, just not taking anything for granted.
Yeah, 8 games left for the Mustangs in the regular season. You host Augustana Thursday night, then you go to Sioux Falls on Saturday. It's a little bit of a mix-up from that Friday-Saturday doubleheader that we do usually on the weekends. It's tight at the top right now. One game separates 3 teams in the standings. What are your team goals going into this home stretch down the season?
Obviously we're just taking it game by game, but I think the ultimate overall goal is to win the national championship. I think we have what it takes to be great, and we just have such a special group this year, and we just need to keep pushing and just keep being us.
Both games are going on at the same time on Thursday night. How quick after the game might you go check that Minnesota State Concordia St. Paul game? Those 2 teams are near the top of the standings with you. Any scoreboard watch? I know not during the game you're not going to look, but afterwards, how quick are you going to go see the results of that?
As soon as I can. I think it's a really important game, and I wish I could be watching it, but I'll just have to look right after because there's just a lot on the line. So I'm curious to see who's gonna pull it out.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of work to do with you in Augustana Thursday night. You'll be focused on that before the game, before you get ready. Any special routines that you do?
I'm not really superstitious about anything, but I think like my go-to is just like to listen to music just to lock in right before.
All right, and the final question, what has been the best piece of advice you have received during your athletic career?
The best piece of advice was from Coach Webb in one of my film sessions. I was kind of not like playing my best and everything, but he told me don't be afraid to be great, and that's kind of stuck with me just to like don't shy away from the big moments and like the big games and just always be confident in myself.
Great advice right there, Coach Webb, that you're using as you excel in your senior season. That's going to wrap up this week's show. Thanks again to our sponsor, gpac. Peyton, best of luck to you and the Mustangs down the home stretch.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.